In June 2011, the STL's pretrial judge confirmed an indictment against Mr. Ayyash, Mr. Badreddin, Mr. Onaisi, and Mr. Sabra. The indictment against Mr. Merai was confirmed in July 2013. In February 2012, the trial chamber decided to proceed with the trial of Mr. Ayyash, Mr. Badreddin, Mr. Onaisi, and Mr. Sabra in absentia. It rendered the same decision in December 2013 with respect to Mr. Merai. In its decisions, the trial chamber held that the accused were aware of the charges against them and the possibility of participating in the trial, and had absconded and could not be found. To ensure a fair trial, the accused were represented in the proceedings by defense counsel assigned by the head of the defense office. The trial against Mr. Ayyash, Mr. Badreddin, Mr. Onaisi, and Mr. Sabra began in January 2014. In February 2014, the trial chamber decided that the case against Mr. Merai should be joined to that of the other 4 accused, and he should be tried on the same indictment, and ordered the adjournment of the trial. The trial hearings against the 5 accused resumed in June 2014. Following Mr. Badreddin's reported death, the trial chamber terminated the proceedings against him in July 2016 pursuant to a decision by the majority of the appeals chamber, without prejudice to resume the proceedings should evidence that he is alive be adduced in the future. 70 victims participated in the proceedings and expressed their views and concerns either in person or through their legal representatives. This was not only important for the victims themselves, but their participation facilitated an historic record of events told from the perspective of those most impacted by the 14 February 2005 attack. Following the close of the prosecution's case against the remaining 4 accused in March 2018, the trial chamber dismissed an application by the Onaisi defense to acquit Mr. Onaisi of all charges. It then heard the evidence presented by the Onaisi defense and called 1 witness to testify on the Sabra defense's request. In total, the trial chamber sat for 415 days, received the evidence of 297 witnesses, and admitted 3,131 documentary exhibits exceeding 145,000 pages. The trial against the 4 accused concluded in September 2018, after receiving written final trial briefs and hearing closing submissions from the prosecution, the legal representatives of victims, and the defense. The trial chamber then withdrew to review the evidence and to deliberate as to whether the prosecutor proved his case beyond reasonable doubt on the guilt of each accused on each count. If the trial chamber finds that the evidence does not meet that threshold with respect to any of the counts, the judges will acquit the accused on that count. The trial chamber shall render its judgment by the majority of the judges, which will be accompanied by a reasoned opinion and pronounced in a public hearing.